What makes an eloquent speaker? What does it mean to be eloquent in our speech? There are so many examples of eloquent speakers out there, speeches that have gone down in history that we are continuing to talk about today. Some of those you can find in books like the Bible, where there are these moments where people spoke to a crowd. We see Paul do this when he speaks to King Agrippa. We see an eloquent speech where he flows again and he looks at his audience and he speaks to his specific audience. It's a great example. But to be an eloquent speaker, it's using the words well. It's the nuances. I love this. I found a definition that talked about it's having a masterful flow. It's subtleties and nuances that are thought about. An eloquent speaker is not just going to give words and have those words be said. An eloquent speaker is going to flow. An eloquent speaker, they're going to be remembered. An eloquent speaker is going to think through what they're saying, and each nuance and each subtlety has a dynamic. It's your approach. It's who you are as a speaker. There was this example of, think of a song, a dynamic song, and how it flows and builds, and how each nuance and addition of an instrument or a vocal is done carefully and masterfully in a way to make a song that is memorable, a song that sticks in our head. So, define eloquent speakers and what it means to have an eloquent speech. There are so many examples also. Martin Luther King Jr., I Had a Dream, eloquent speech. JFK, he gave many eloquent speeches. Goodness gracious. Ronald Reagan, so many. You can think of performers who gave eloquent acceptance speeches. Eloquent speaking. So, what does it mean to be an eloquent speaker? And then think of an example of an eloquent speaker and the speech that is attached to that speaker. And analyze it. And why does this help us when we analyze other speakers? It helps us because we can learn from others. You should never want to be someone else's voice, but we can learn from other people's voice, right? We can learn from other speakers. How did they portray eloquence? How did they make a memorable speech that we're still talking about today? What did they use? What were the subtleties and nuances in their vocal tone, in their rhythm, in their words chosen? I have speakers that I look up to, and I always am excited any moment I get to hear these speakers. I consider them eloquent. They get out their message in a way that is memorable, in a way that is I can think back and remember the moments. And I don't want to be those speakers. I don't want to be their voice, but I can learn by observing eloquent speakers. I can learn by observing how they handle their specific nuances, how they use vocal tone, how they use wording, how they use story and imagery, how they use rhythm. We can learn from eloquent speakers.